Now, we would now like to start the industry distribution and water field as well as industrial products business unit. I'd like to introduce the speaker to you, Masakazu Aoki, Executive Vice President and Executive Officer of the General Manager of Industrial Equipment Management Division. Good morning. My name is Aoki, as already introduced. First of all, I would like to talk about the industry, distribution, and water field, and overall explanation will be given first. So this is the area that I am covering. This is the first time I am giving you an explanation of the overall picture. So this is the industry, distribution, and water business unit. In terms of front, we have the industry and distribution business unit and the water business unit. At the same time, we have a horizontal organization as well. We have in terms of products, we have industrial products business unit and Hitachi Industrial Equipment Systems. These are the areas that I am covering today. And I would like to give you an outline explanation of this area as well as the vision going forward. Please refer to the slide. This is the business overall picture has been reflected in this diagram. Customers are basically manufacturers in the area of industry, as well as distribution, and maintenance and service, and in other words, overall value chain is covered. Furthermore, in terms of the substance of the business, we have products as well as operation technology and IT. These are the three areas that are covered. We are responding to all needs in these three areas. Specifically, in the business side of the customers, various products are provided. Furthermore, control as well as operation technologies are covered. And utilizing the data, IT services are provided for facilitating management on the part of the customers. We are able to cover all these areas, which is our strength. After this explanation, it will be followed by myself once again to talk about the industrial products business unit. I would like to talk about the products specifically, as well as the OT area. And in the session to follow, the industry distribution business unit will be covered by Mr. Abe. IT OT area will be covered by Mr. Abe. So that is the plan for this section. From April of last year, I have been covering the area that I have just mentioned. And the business unit substance collaboration have been enhanced. And in the area of over OT, we have been focused on the overlapping area to provide a better service to our customers. Now, this is the progress of the 2018 midterm management plan. There are 3 points to be made here. First of all, strengthening of the product business in 2015. As I have already mentioned on several occasions in the IR meetings, the Hitachi Group's multiple business units had the industrial products fragmented. So it has been integrated and industrial products business unit that has been established. And by integrating the business with the Hitachi Industrial Equipment Systems, we are able to strengthen the business foundation. Second progress is the expansion of the digital solution business. This was also mentioned by Mr. Higashihara. we have various work sites that we cover. Especially Omika Works is very important in that regard. We have been nurturing the state-of-the-art production system. This has been further enhanced. And placing this at the core, we are providing different services to our customers based on manufacturing. We are also focused on collaborative creation with our customers. Amongst the information that we have announced, Daikin, Daicel collaboration are noteworthy. Also, Okuma collaboration has also been announced. Last week, Amada Machine Tool is a company that we are collaborating with as well as already announced. These are the expansion of the additional solution business. Third progress made is the acquisition of Cell Air. Last year, I also mentioned this several times. Air compressor business per se will be enhanced and expanded. That was an obvious objective of Cell Air. North America customer base was also obtained. By so doing, our industrial products, IT, OT synergies can be brought to bear. That was also an important objective of the acquisition of Cell Air. The manufacturing customers are beset with many challenges. And there are common challenges even amongst different countries. As already explained today, the delivery ability to be enhanced, product combining with IT and OT. We hope that this area can be further expanded so that the 2018 midterm management plan can be achieved and move further higher levels. Next, I would like to talk about the 2021 midterm management plan vision. We are aiming to become the best solution partner for our customers in the industry and distribution field. In order to achieve this goal, we will expand the recurring business. This has been emphasized from last year as well. Products and systems are to be provided to customers, but that will not be the end of it. We hope that this will lead to a relationship where recurring business can be had. That will also be an important focus for us, and we will accelerate the global expansion thereof. A second point is the extension of the range of target customers utilizing customer base of Hitachi Industrial Equipment System and Cell Air. Industry cluster. Looking at the area that I cover, there are customers in many different industries. Individual products and system to be provided will not suffice. Hitachi's overall capabilities must be brought to bear to service these customers in different industries. That is the second theme identified here. And thirdly, a larger services solution business with products multiplied by OT, multiplied by IT as well. That will be the important objective behind the 2021 midterm management plan. Next, I would like to proceed to the explanation of the industrial products business unit. Business strategy will be outlined. I will follow the table of contents. Now, in this area, basically, as already explained last year, we have the mechanical business, drive automation business, as well as the power substation distribution business. And the ratio of each of the business sectors are shown here. And this will be provided to resources and energy, life science, industry and distribution, and social infrastructure. A wide array of customers will be served by these products. That has been emphasized in the 2018 midterm management plan. Now, the key products will be provided globally to meet these needs. And by so doing, we believe it will correspond to the SDGs of 4, 7, 9, and 12 listed here. In terms of group line positioning, I have already given an explanation previously, but although the picture is somewhat different, the message is the same. In terms of keyword, product team, connected devices and connecting devices will be an important focus. That will be the policy for this area. Next, progress of 2018 Meta Management Plan will be explained. In terms of mass production business, at the risk of repeating myself, accelerating global expansion of recurring business with investment for growth. This will be conducted on a continuous basis. Build-to-order business, reviewing business scale and priority areas and improving profits, strengthening the base for regrowth. There is also one additional thing, which is strengthening expansion of product-led IoT and digital solutions. Left-hand side is the revenues. The progress is shown here for 2017, 369.3 billion yen. The number announced last year has been exceeded in that regard. For 2018, in terms of the forecast, 395 billion yen is the forecast today. Adjusted operating income ratio for 2017, 6.0% was achieved. The forecast for last year was 5.4%, which has been exceeded. 2018, 8% is the target. Current forecast is 8.4%, exceeding the target outlined in the mid-term management plan. Now, in terms of results and next actions for mass production products, expanding the air compressor business by the acquisition of Seoul Air, and enhance the services for IoT-compatible products. For the more global business expansion will be promoted. For build-to-order business, as I have already explained, a return to profitability by promoting structural reform, prioritize businesses by selection and concentration. We shall continue on this course. Next, business strategy will be explained. Now, we will strengthen the approach to growing markets and sectors. So, a focus market will now be explained. Overall, there are two markets that we will be aiming to pursue. North America is the first market, and that is the reason why we have acquired Seoul Air. Because the market size is very significant, it is also enjoying stable growth. In terms of IoT solution business, there is room for growth in North America. Second is China. The market is growing, infrastructure investment is very significant, and there are many manufacturers in China, although there have been migration taking place in China as well. So our major focus will be North America and China. And now, in terms of market environment, based on the different prevailing needs, we will be focused on 4 priority businesses, as outlined here. By so doing, we will meet the needs that are listed here. And next, vision. Strong product business that contribute to industrial needs and basic policies are outlined here. The 4 business areas, the upper 2, the air compressor, and for the marking system, it is positioned as a global engine for growth. It is a typical recurring business for us. We will continue a global investment, and Seoul Air PMI will be rigorously implemented to capture more business. And IoT business is also poised for growth. I will elaborate this further. For drive automation business, switching to high value-added sectors will be the major focus. Collaborative creation with customers or built-in type will be important in that regard. To the machineries as well as devices, the best drive system and automation system will be provided. Furthermore, we will also support edge computing and IoT controller capabilities will be expanded. And the IoT will be strengthened near the work site. By so doing, we will target edge computing. Next, looking at the business portfolio. First of all, looking at the four businesses revenues, industrial products ratio is shown on the left-hand side for the priority business ratio. 2016 used to be around one half. 59% in 2017, 61% achieved in 2018, according to forecast. With the South air compressor business, we have been able to grow significantly over the years. Next, looking at the overseas revenues by region, on the right-hand side, North America, China growth will be important for us. And for 2016, the overseas business ratio is 25%, 2017, 29%, 32% is forecast for 2018. This has also been driven by the acquisition, growing the North America business. By so doing, we have identified now that North America is the most important market for our business today. Next, I would like to talk about the strategies for each business area. We made the acquisition of South Air last year, which has had a significant impact. 100 billion was the target that we set forth with. And we are poised to exceed 100 billion without fail. And in the upper half, I have identified here the maximizing the Hitachi synergies, aiming for global #1 product. PMI has been implemented successfully. With the acquisition, I would like to talk about the position at the right-hand bottom. We now realize a full lineup. Vis-a-vis the global competitor, in terms of the lineup, we are as competitive today from small size to large size. We have full coverage. As a result, 2 years ago, I believe similar information to be provided. This is the bar chart for the share. Hitachi South Air was in 5th, 6th, or 7th in the market. But with the acquisition and with growth, we have now achieved the position of #3. And we are closely catching up to #2 as well. Therefore, with the combination of Hitachi and South Air, we are bringing to bear significant power in the market. So we are now currently #3 globally. We will aim for #2. Perhaps #1 will be later, but for the time being, we will catch up to #2. That is our objective today. Last year, when we had the IR Day in June, it was prior to closing of the acquisition. Therefore, I was not able to discuss details of the acquisition. So I was only able to give you a very vague explanation of the customers. But now, everything is complete, and we are able to disclose at our own volition. Therefore, I would like to talk about the U.S. market examples. This is just one example that I would like to share with you. First of all, in terms of major companies in materials and resources, this is an industry that is very strong for the United States. At the very top photograph, it shows Dow Chemical. It's called the compressor station. In terms of, it's not just selling facilities or hardware. We are going beyond that. Dow Chemical needs clean compressed air in significant volume. So as a utility, air compressor is to be provided in the form of a compressor station on the part of Cell Air. That is how this business is being operated for Dow Chemicals. Another area we found difficult to enter in the past was shale gas in the United States. Baker Hughes is using for the gas pipeline compressor. We have significant compressors provided to Baker Hughes. The next one is is for Caterpillar. It's for the offshore ring power. A special container package is required to be placed on board vessels. And we now have the ability to cater to their needs. A second area is also the service and entertainment industry of the United States. This is also a major industry in the United States. We have applications not only for manufacturing, but also for this type of industry as well. This is Las Vegas Hotel Bellagio. It has a massive fountain. It goes up 100 meters. And the driving force is provided by Cell Air. LOA is for stock car racing in the United States. This is very popular in the United States. The surface, when wet, will be subject to accidents, which is dangerous, and they have to call off the race. In order to avoid that, we are able to provide air compressor. 3 units are provided to dry the circuit road surface. This is also another application that we have provided. This was somewhat surprising for us, but this is also an application that we are not able to support. Next area, I would like to mention that the rental is a major market in the United States. They do not hold as capital. And United Rentals is the largest rental company in the world, according to my understanding. We are providing services to United Rentals as well for Grangers. Momotaro's parent company is the positioning of Granger. We have sales channels through these companies. This is providing significant channels as well as opportunities to capture customers. Next, let me give you examples about China. Now, this says car manufacturing plant. This is for FAW Volkswagen. We are providing significant volume for this customers. Below is BYD, famous for battery cars. And the main facility is supported by Cell Air. Furthermore, in terms of resources in China, one of the major companies, Sinopec, is a customer. To Sinopec, large facilities, equipment are provided in Tibet. It was at the altitude of 5,000 meters, highly reliable mining operation is using our compressors. These were areas that were difficult for us to enter as Hitachi, but with the Cell Air acquisition, we have been able to successfully make inroads. With other products and solutions, we can aim for the next phase of business development. Now, based on the compressor business, we are also aiming to achieve a connected product business. On the part of Hitachi, from 2 years ago, FitLive services have been provided. For 2017, October, in most of the products, this connected service is provided without incremental cost. It is provided as a standard feature. The reason why we were able to achieve this is because communication devices are made in-house and connectivity services are provided in-house as well. Cloud is also using the Hitachi platform. Hitachi is the only company that will be able to cover all these dimensions. In the past, we were providing this as options, which is not growing, but now connectivity, connected product business is being enhanced. We will take this to Airlinks, South Air as well. Based on this foundation, obviously, we are going to be pursuing the business of selling product, but as a service or pay-per-use will also be promoted. We will support various ways of utilizing our products and services. Next, growth strategy for the marking system business. Expanding business domain and accelerating global growth strategy will be our focus. Obtaining major customers by expanding product portfolio. In the ink area, we are number 3 for the ink type products. And we are expanding our assortment of products. And we are going to catch up to world number 3. One of the core business will be ink. Self-development of ink will be a major focus for us in this area. We have environmental friendly ink, and also we have introduced the temperature detection traceability for the cold chain. High temperature will detect by showing color. Marking coding is required by many customers of Salwell as well, and we will be ready to provide this accordingly. Yesterday, Hitachi and KDDI announced a global ID platform promotion was announced. Now, in that article, it was mentioned that Hitachi's produced ink will be the first connected product that will be worked in collaboration with KDDI, which is explained here. Together with KDDI, in terms of industry IoT, we have been working in various demonstrations. It will be deployed in 100 countries of the world. Therefore, the advantage will be verified so that new business opportunities can be promoted. This is based on the area of connected products. Next, I would like to move on to talk about the business strategy for drive and automation. I mentioned that we are going to provide high value-added customer products, strengthening the built-in type products attributes. There are many products in Hitachi, and we will provide a very strong drive technology as well. The first is amorphous motors. In the spring of this year, we have received the Prime Minister's Award for Japan Industrial Technologies. It will be introduced to air compressors as well. 25% volume has been reduced. So it is super small size, ultra-thin flat structure has been introduced. This drive technology will be adopted by various products within the group. It will be optimized for each product, and cost-competitive products can be provided as well. Obviously, it will be promoted for outside the group companies as well. And various examples are shown here. For example, Amada for machine tools, for server drive, there's almost 100% adoption of our products has been achieved. And for mold injection machines using server drives for high performance. And this has been adopted by Toyo Machinery and Metal. And in terms of the larger products, higher robustness has been emphasized. In Taiwan, we have received a major order for downwind type offshore wind turbines. Power generator has been provided by Hitachi. And Mr. Doma will explain the drive motors that have been adopted for the trains. What is also noteworthy is the power generators as well as motors and inverters for the construction machineries. Mr. Seki will explain the PM motors that have been adopted in our elevator products. These are information that we did not share in the past. I would like to emphasize now. Now, IoT controllers, edge computing is being emphasized in this area. We are making significant efforts for IoT controllers to execute the data application at the production lines. And optimization as well as visualization can be achieved. And edge process is shown on this side. Various data will be made available from the website. Edge will be used in C language. Similar process can be achieved as high-performance computers, and only the necessary data will be elevated on a real-time basis. So this is also a product that we have released. We hope that many customers will utilize this product going forward. Now, to change the topic somewhat, IoT solution is being promoted for the product division as well. For the connectivity in IoT, there are many areas that should be promoted by the product side. This is what I'd like to elaborate now. Smart manufacturing is what we are promoting by the initiatives of IT solutions, as well expanding robot and automation SI business. Our products have been adopted by Amada Holdings significantly. At the Toki Works, we are working in collaborative creation with the customers. A customer's request is very sophisticated. In 365 days, and to construct an IoT line, which is unmanned. This is for the press molding manufacturing line. This is a business that we have acquired from them. We have also a website, so we understand what is necessary in the website. What will suspend the line is something that we are fully aware of. And the robots are placed in cells in this case. By so doing, connectivity can be achieved and contribute to establishing same-day delivery system within 3 hours minimum. By so doing, within our cluster, we believe that IoT collaborating with industry and distribution business unit can be further expanded. This is something that we have announced with Amada as well. Next is smart logistics. The examples of customer is Momotaro. A customer distribution center is shown here as a customer case. Our key product, Rakru, has been adopted significantly. By so doing, the performance productivity has been increased by 2 times or 3 times for the new picking system. The Rakru, utilizing a picking system as well as becoming more sophisticated with the adoption of AI, has been planned as well. A higher level system will be collaborating with the industry and distribution BU and connecting that to sophisticated management and control systems. And this is what we are promoting today. Next, talking about the strengthening of the cash generation and cost strategies in the area of SG&A, gross profit, and cash generation. By so doing, gross margin compared to 2015 will improve by 8.6 in terms of 2018, and CCC improved from 107.5 days to 97.4 days. Now, this is the business performance trends for 2017. It was 369.3 billion. And this is because of a decline in the build-to-order. However, with the acquisition impact, we are able to generate such revenues. The Cell Air acquisition was contributed part of last year. And by so doing and expanding the priority business, we are aiming for 395 billion in fiscal year 2018. For adjusted operating income, 15.7 billion in 2016. Structural reform has been implemented. There has been acquisition. And as a result, fiscal year 2017, because of the expenses, profit was limited. But in fiscal year 2018, with the acquisition impact, we are aiming for 33.1 billion yen. This is the overall business performance trends. For 2018, we'll aim for 395 billion. And in the midterm business plan, we mentioned 400 billion. And obviously, we're aiming for more than 400 billion. But against that object, 110 to 105 yen was a downward revision in terms of the foreign exchange. That is the reason why we are below 400 billion. But we are still aiming for 400 billion yen. Lastly, let me conclude. At the risk of repeating myself, I'm not going to mention the numbers anymore. But we will achieve the fiscal year 2018 target by expanding priority business and accelerating global expansion, focus on resource and growing business and strategic investment, and expansion of the service and solution business based on products multiplied by OT, multiplied by IT. This will be our focus going forward. Thank you. We would now like to proceed to Q&A. And Mr. Aoki will be joined by Mr. Kobayashi, Mr. Araya, Mr. Kobayashi, CEO of Industrial Products Business Unit, as well as Mr. Araya, CSO of Industrial Products Business Unit, and also President and Director of Hitachi Industrial Equipment Systems, joined by Mr. Imanaba, CFO of Industrial Products Business Unit, Senior Vice President, Director, Group Executive Business Administration and Planning Group of Hitachi. So, the floor is now open for questions. Thank you very much. Question. Now, regarding page 22. Currently, according to the plan, the waterfall chart is very easy to understand. But you mentioned for the target of 400 billion or 420 billion. That was mentioned somewhere. But compared to the past, what changes have occurred leading to the waterfall chart on page 22? If possible, please elaborate. I know that there is a foreign exchange impact, but there could have been a cost reduction as well as acquisition impact as well. And the increase and decrease of focus areas or non-focus areas could have impact. How has the changes made an impact on profit? Can you compare? Can you talk about what it was in the past and the current state? Answer. Basically, for fiscal year 2017, the actual result in terms of structural reform, we did better than expected. But compared to the previous assumption, revenues has gone down by 21.1 billion. That is a decline more than expected, so we were somewhat behind in that regard. But we have made positive contributions. Salia, we thought was zero, but it was made a contribution. And we were able to reduce the period for acquisition, and the cost reduction was made further than expected. Therefore, as a result, we have been able to improve on the numbers presented previously. I hope I have been able to respond to your question. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? Thank you. Question. I have two simple questions. the first point. In the material, you talk about the positioning of Lumada. It's part of OT in the slides. It's not IT. It's part of OT. Is there different versions of Lumada? Is Lumada part of OT or IT? And CCC, cash conversion cycle, compared to systems and services business, the reduction in CCC is smaller, it seems. Why? Answer. With respect to Lumada, as a product team, we're not engaged in IT business in principle. Based on products, we are building systems, and I gave you some examples. Lumada SI, that's what it is in terms of sales. And that is why I mainly talked about Lumada as OT. In the industrial business unit, there will be discussion about Lumada as part of IT. And with respect to CCC, as you rightly pointed out, we would like to reduce it even more. But for one thing, build-to-order business has some inertia, and it takes time for the inventory to turn into business. But we have not been able to achieve as much result as we want. Given the nature of the business, 60 may be difficult to achieve.
Question. I have two questions. First question, something from 2 years ago. Higashihara-san talked about products then, saying that in the front side, it's not necessary to use the Hitachi products. There has to be a certain kind of attention in terms of the choices made. 2 years have passed since then, and you are overseeing both areas. Compared to Hitachi in the past, has there been changes? That's my first question. Now, answer. On my part, I used to be a drive user, so there's been no change in terms of what you have outlined. But products are becoming more sophisticated. As mentioned previously, the size is 1/4 of the past, and this is likely to continue. Now, the original ideas from the seed level, if we start at this point, then the resources internally is very important. And if we continue to procure from the outside, the competitors will be able to use the same. This is something that we have been pursuing in depth over the past couple of years. Obviously, there's going to be competition, but in order to come up with competitive products, using Hitachi Drive is becoming stronger. If anything, it is becoming more stronger. Now, regarding acquisition, Seoul Air was a successful acquisition, but for Hitachi overall, even with 100 billion, the scale overall is still limited. From your point of view, Mr. Aoki, in terms of products, is there a possibility of making further acquisition of similar scale? But what is your priority in that regard? For Seoul Air, PMI, as well as Harvest, is necessary, but there must be a need for expeditious acquisition as well. In terms of positioning as a product, what is your view? Obviously, opportunities will have to arise in terms of acquisition. But in terms of management, are you going to emphasize more acquisition because of Seoul Air was successful, or do you want to do PMI of Seoul Air first? Obvious answer. Obviously, PMI for Seoul Air is first and foremost, but we will also be looking for opportunities for further M&A as well. This is my strategy personally, but we are not going to make a fragmented M&A. We have to bring to bear the DNA of Hitachi. Even without the scale, we need synergies. And if we, in the absence of synergy, we will forego such an opportunity. So that is the basis policy behind acquisitions.
Any other questions? Go ahead. Question. I have two questions. Question number one about the share. One of the diagrams. The number one company, because I don't have the knowledge, what kind of company is the number one company? And you would like to become number two and ultimately number one in the future. In this industry, how are you going to increase share? You have acquired Saluair, and going forward, you will have greater scale. Will that be effective, or are you going to rely on the strength of Lumada IoT or cost reduction? What are you going to do in order to become number two and number one going forward? Answer. Company A, it's a company that starts with the letter A. It's a European company. It's very large in size, very powerful. If I am to answer your question, well, I talked about recurring business. There's after-sales market to it. So once you acquire a share, it's going to be very difficult to change that. So even if there's major innovation, because customer relations and networks and performance are going to be very crucial, you need all of them to bring to bear. It's like a car. It's not something like IT, which changes very rapidly in 2 to 3 years' time. It's very difficult. So if you are to gain share, you have to build on your networks steadily and have an M&A so that you can gain a massive share. I think you need both. Here's my second question about profitability. As was asked already, what used to be 10 billion or less is to exceed 30 billion in terms of income. Considering that Saluair has not contributed all that much in the last 2-3 years, it was a major improvement. And can a similar improvement be expected into the future? So answer, why have we become profitable? It's a secret. Well, of course, that's said half jokingly. There's no major business that's been carved out or anything like that. Mr. Nagamori, the Chairman Nagamori of Densa, well, he talks about having deep dive business and having different businesses. So it's a combination of different approaches to drive profitability. We have a number of businesses. We have been making improvements in each of the business areas. I think that's the best answer that I can give you.
Since we're approaching the time to close the session, we can take perhaps one more question before we close. Question. Regarding inkjet printer, the KDDI announcement was made in the area of industrial IoT. How long have you been working in this area? With the announcement yesterday, data will be collected through the telecommunication lines. So from the point of view of products, what is the advantage you hope to achieve? Actually, that's my first point. Regarding KDDI, in terms of even before the emergence of IoT, we have been working with them, with Mr. Tanaka, the current chairman, with him in the area of to industry, mobile applications have been discussed over a long period, dates back to about 15 years ago. And regarding industrial use, and in fact, KDDI's chip and network has been worked on over the years. And I think on a cumulative basis, there are 200,000 units. More than 200,000 devices has been provided to customers of different fields. Now, and in fact, IoT was coined later than this initiative. In the connected cars, that was pursued by KDDI, but we wanted to work together in the industry area. And that is the nature of the announcement made yesterday. I hope that will suffice. Question number 2. There are many telecommunication companies. Why are you working with the KDDI? Is it because that you have a good relationship with them dating back 15 years in the area of IoT? Answer. Obviously, we are open to other telecommunication carriers as well. And in the terminal area of IoT, we are working with many customers. But regarding global IoT, SIM switching, automatic switching has been established through collaboration with the KDDI and Hitachi. That is the reason why we made this announcement. But IoT is open. And therefore, we're not just limiting ourselves to KDD only. Question, so you could be working with SoftBank or Docomo? Yes. Answer. In fact, we have good relations with those carriers as well. Question number 3. For inkjet printers, and you are going to introduce that to U.S. companies in the United States as well as China. Are these the regions that you're going to be focused on in terms of connected devices? Which countries are you going to be focused on first and foremost? Answer, U.S. and then next Europe. Because in China, there are telecommunication regulations that must be overcome. Therefore, we will launch the business in U.S. first. Thank you. With this, we would like to bring the explanation of the Industry Distribution Water-Filled Industrial Product Business Unit to a close. Thank you very much.